Video 10. Okay, so I suppose we need to bring the board back up. Display. This is 307. Bring up the KiCad menu. We'll probably want the schematic up, and we will want the printed circuit board up. Okay, so this is where we left everything. And let's see here. We're doing really well. There's just not that many traces left. I need to get these few cleaned up in here, and then after that we can do a few other things here. You know, I could squeeze these down a little bit farther, because I could take this cap and move it down. I'm wondering if I should do that. I mean, you know, it's not that expensive time-wise to do it. And you're a captive audience, so we're just going to delete those traces back off. So I can take this guy and just say move. And I'm going to move him down. I don't want to get him too far away from there. Let me just move him down just a little. I've got this one trace here that they'll complain about, but okay, let's go for that. Let me put those back in there now. Traces, widths. Again, we're using big, heavy traces here. Okay, so there's those. This reset line. Now I can move it down some. Now I've got to watch out for this. These two have traces that go up, so I have to watch out for that. But let me delete this guy off, so I can move them. It's hard to move a part without getting the traces off of it. I mean, you can. There's a way of doing it, but it's kind of a pain. And I got two traces that need to come up. So, but they'll be on the bottom of the board, I think. So let me just bring this down. In fact, let's see, where do they have to be? They're way down there. So yeah, they'll be on the bottom of the board at this point. So I can do something like this, and really get these out of the way. I just need enough room for that trace to come down. So we'll line that up nicely like that. Okay. So, in fact, I should probably just draw those in so I don't lose track of them. And if I put a via here and here, I think we can do this. So let me just do that right now, and then see how much trouble we get into. So what I want is a trace. And I want it, these are signals, so they can be teeny. And I want this one. And I want it to go, you know, obviously I need to flip to the other side right away. So let me just put hit a V key for via. Do that. No, okay, now I'm on this side. And I want to come up here. And I'm just paying attention to what needs to be where. Let's see here. I can go. You know, let me stop that for a second. I know that's going to need a via too, so let me just do this. Second via. Okay. Got that. But I can move these two guys down a bunch. That's what I was thinking I should do. I can move them a long way. So let me delete those traces off and move them. That's why I don't like to do traces too much at the beginning, because I keep deleting things because it just seems like a good idea. Delete that one. Let me get that one out of there too. Okay. So I can slide these guys down a long way. So let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so let me move, and you know, I've got a clear path on the red side of the board here. So I can put these down pretty low, and I can just snuggle them really pretty close. Let's see if this works. Now again, ignore the labels, because we'll be moving those around a lot in a minute. But now my red traces go really well here. So now my 6mm traces can go straight through. I can just do this. And those sides. So now I can think about the two vias here. The 5 and the ground are fine there. Let's see, do we have 5 volts being fed over? I don't have my 5 volts actually being fed all the way over yet, do I? The 5 volts that powers the micro. I want it to come from here. Because I mean it's trying to power it from over here, and I don't want it to. I want it to come closer to this bus bar on this side. But this blue one here can make it if I keep these. I'm just trying to look at where everything has to cross. Okay. Let me add this one under the trace. This one can go in. And I'm going to delete these traces right back off that I just put on there. There's a teeny trace down underneath there. Let me see here. Can I get that to go away? Okay. Because I want to move those vias up, because I worry about this getting this 5 volts down. So let me do that first, because I know that has to go across. So it's some of this stuff you just have to kind of pay attention to. Okay, so I want big trace. I want going from here. I want it to come down, and I just need to get to the other side, but I'm going to have these other traces that need to come up. So I'm going to come down here quite a ways first, and I'm going to do this, and it'll become obvious why in a moment. Now I'll put my via, and I want to be on the other side, that side. Okay, so I'm going to from there, and I just want to connect into the 5 volts. Okay, so that's the 5 volts for the microprocessor and stuff like that. Okay, so we've got that. We've got power now. Now I can worry about these two. Again, I can put vias down here pretty easily. I need to get these 2 traces up. And to do it, sometimes I just draw part of a trace just to make sure I can get it out of there. So this guy has to come up. And he can go pretty much straight up. So I'll just let me just take him straight up. This guy has to come out and go up. This guy has to also go up, but it's going to be blue. So, but I got to get him to the other side. So I'm just going to come up here and do a via. So now he's blue, and I'm just going to bring him up. Now these guys are going to have traces too, so I have to watch out for them. So let me just get this over as far as I can to that one reset pin and stop there. Now I've got this one and this one that have to connect over here, and we're going to have vias here, which is fine because we're going to need them anyway to connect down below. So I'm just going to bring this guy out, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do a via right away, and I'm going to be blue, and I'm going to come over here, and I want to put another via in, and I'm just going to snuggle it up as close as I can, and then I'm going to put that there, and then put that in place. I should have room for one more via in here. Will it let me? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, not quite enough there. Okay, so that's not quite enough room. I need to move a couple of pieces over. So let me zoom in on this just a little bit. This reset line, there's nothing over here. And those 4 lines go straight up, so that's fine. So what I can do is I can take this trace, and I want to delete this one because it's going to do something funky on me. And then there used to be a command. Let's see if this works. If I say G, okay, there's a small piece of trace there. So let me get rid of that little teeny piece of trace. Now if I put my mouse on this thing and hit a G key, that should be grab. No, that's not quite what I want to do. Okay, let me move that over there. Let me move that over. I'm just going to delete this piece because I want to make sure it connects properly. So now there's plenty of space there. This guy, which I just ran, I can delete him for a second. And now rerun him, blue side. But now we can come over farther and then come up. And I know he goes on up above, so we'll just bring him up to here and stop. This guy can now be red, so this can go from here to here. Now I've got lots more room down here for another via. This guy can move. So let me delete him and redraw him. So now I can draw from here. I can do the V again, but now I can bring it down a ways. Let's see, that one has to go to the top, that one has to go to the bottom. So this one really needs to be pretty close to the top. I just need enough room for the other via. And now I can go back up a little bit and over. This guy, we've got to trace here. And now I can put a via here. And we can ignore all those things. And then I can do a via there. There. Okay. I've still got a reset line that has to connect across this. And I'll deal with that in a second, because I think I see a path. I may have to move this one up a little bit, but I think we can get there. Okay. And in fact, I may actually flip this around and run it down the bottom side. I think there's more room there. Okay. Let me bring up these two traces. So this one, now let's go to the blue side. And I need this TX line to connect clear down to here. And the RXD has to connect there. Those are going to go to vias. So, and in fact, I think they have to swap. Yeah, they cross each other. So let's cross them down here. Let me do a trace here. And let's see, how do I want to do that? I want to do a via. And then I want to come back down a little bit and over and up. I don't think I want to go. Okay, let me just stop there for the second. This one will come over this way, do a via, and then it'll go on up. Because now it goes to here. This guy, I need to keep it out of the way of the reset line, goes to there. Now we're down to 28 traces left. Now I've got this reset line. Let me zoom out all the way first. Okay, maybe that's too far. Okay, so down here, there are no rat's nest lines left. Everything's been taken care of. I've got this reset line is my next, it's not really a problem, but it's my next trace that has to go. And, you know, to get from here over to here is only red lines. So all I have to do, and it's already blue. So I can actually just take a trace from here all the way over and get it. But there's not much room for a via up there. So let me just delete that little trace, that trace, that trace, that trace. There's actually a trace there that I wanted to go. Why are you not deleting it? Let's see here. There's several of them in there. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now this part's disconnected from everything. Hit the escape key because I don't want to delete it. And then I want to rotate twice. Okay. So now that trace is actually shorter again. So let me draw this one back in. Trace, 6 mil, that. Okay. So there's that side. Now this side goes to the reset. So if I come down here, all I need is a via. And now I'm blue. And it just has to connect this guy. There. Reset line connected. So now we're getting close. Doesn't look like my ground's connected across yet either. I wanted my heavy duty ground to go through. Where's a good spot for that? Let's see. This really needs to connect over to the red one over here. Is there a way we can get that through without causing too much grief? Let me flip to the red layer. And that's a bypass cap. If that wasn't there, I could just about do it that way. And I kind of want to get a heavy-duty ground up there. I've got this one here, which isn't too bad for a ground. I could bring this one up. And again, the blue is now blocking me here. I'll have to think about that one for a moment while I resolve the other pieces here. I kind of wanted to bring it from over here. Now, if I go to blue layers again, I can get all the way to here with blue. And then I've just got to get across the reset line. We may rip up and redo the reset line yet again. So that's fair game. Let me do that. Let me bring in a heavy trace there. Let's go back to 24. And I want the ground line. So what I want to do is I want to bring something down here like this. With via. So now so I can come over here, and I just need to get just that far. And the reset line is not a big deal. It doesn't carry any power. Let me stop there for the moment. Let me delete that trace out again, because I really want the power and grounds to be solid. So if I just take this and connect it straight up to here, that'll fix the ground problem. It creates the other problem for the reset line again. Okay, so trace that. Okay, so if I just do that, okay, the ground is connected. We're down to 27. The reset line, I need to get over the top of this blue line here, which is kind of a pain. And the other option, if I could get a trace through here, I don't think that's quite big enough for a trace. You know, I still run into it. It really has to go a long ways to get there then. So let me just make it you know, I don't like to jump too many times through the board, but you know, it doesn't hurt really. It's not going to hurt us that much here. So let me zoom in a little. So if I do a blue trace, this can be 6 mil now. Let me try this. How much can I get through? You know, if that was just a smidge more, I could get to here and flip to red, and then that would connect me directly. Okay. So let me stop there. Let me see if I can move this via here. So let me yeah, I can move it. Okay, let me delete this one, this one. Delete those out. Okay. And I'm going to delete that one too. Okay. So now I've got a clear path because I deleted everything along the way. And this one is the reset line. So now this can go trace this. And I can do a via to go red. And I'm just going to go straight. I'm going to go this way first and then come back up and hit that. Okay. So that's fine. So now I need this guy. It needs to be a via, but I need it to be really, really. This one has to be low. and then connect to here. Now we're back down to 27 again. I got to get this guy. This one via. Now we can just go this way. Down to 26. Okay. Let me zoom out. Okay, so all of this is down here is taken care of. We got our powers and grounds are now connected. We've got everything. So the only thing left is 26 traces, of which, you know, there's 8 here. There's 8 on the other one. That's 16. A few caps, a few connectors. Okay, so now we're ready for trying to put these guys in. So let me zoom out a little bit. And what I want to do is move. Now, I know the traces go better this way, but I was thinking about this earlier. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, this may not be a bad place to stop because I want to make some changes on. I may have to change the schematic a little bit again. So let me save this and break it here. We're over 20 minutes already again.